Coach, obviously, I know you were not happy with the end result of the SMU game, but what were some positives you took away from that game as far as how you guys played for the most of it?
Yeah, I'm still not happy about the results of Friday night's game. Like I shared with the team and I shared with you guys, if I'm remembering correctly, that we had that game and we didn't make the plays in a timely fashion. We had a 9-point lead, I think some change left, and we just didn't do what we needed to do to make sure that there was no comeback effort, and we just had some just bad plays that turned into points for the other team. They scored 7 points in 2 possessions, and it really changed the mood in the arena and in our huddles, if I'm being honest. And when you have a team that isn't having the success maybe that they want, that's what happens sometimes. Is you can be a little fragile that way, and a bad play or a bad series of events can really change the mood. And as the coach, I understand that, and we've got to. Our team needs to understand that they can't, when we're in that position the next time, it can't affect us in a negative way. But in terms of positives, I thought overall, looking at the totality of the game, we played better. We had better, longer spurts of playing the way we need to play. We had done enough things to put us in that position, and the bottom line is it's about when the buzzer goes off. We all understand that, but we had played better. Turnovers, that's been obviously an issue for us all year long, and for whatever reason, it wasn't that game until the overtime where we had 4 in 5 minutes. We had 3 in 40 leading up to that point. We had made our free throws in that game until, again, late in the game when they're magnified a little bit more, and when you rewatch it, wow, I mean, that's what you do, right? When it's an overtime game, this play or that play, but that's how sports works. So I thought we played a little better overall. We made some strides, but at the end of the day, we didn't get the win.
We'll go to Coach's right with Jacob, and then we'll head over to Sam here in the middle.
Coach, you got another Power 5 game on Wednesday. What are your early impressions of this Georgia Tech team?
And they're very athletic, big. We got a big lineup all the way across, but they're very athletic, especially at the 4 and the 5. They got 2 young, athletic, just really good players, and you've got a game plan for them, but it's a fine line because certainly they have other players that can hurt you as well. And at this point, the way I look at it is it doesn't matter who we're playing or where we're playing. We've got to play better, we've got to compete better, we've got to play the full 40. Everybody's got to carry their weight, if you will, and we just got to figure out a way to play better, longer, and get a win.
Being at 4 losses now, do you have to kind of pick up the sense of urgency at all, as you try and get back into the win column and find a groove?
I guess my reaction to that is I coach with a sense of urgency all the time. If it's June, July, August, September, October, November, if our record was 7-0, I'd still coach with a sense of urgency. Is there more? I guess, but that's the way we do things around here. It's the way we've done things since we arrived. We treat every game like the Super Bowl, and that hasn't changed since we arrived in terms of the time we spend in scouting and the urgency that we have with our players and our team on a daily basis. And I'd be lying if I said to you, yeah, we're going to coach with more urgency now, because that's what we do.
Go ahead and call in here to Coach's left.
You have a few games this season where they're not true road games, but you go in knowing that the atmosphere is going to be against you. How have you seen your team react to that going into this one against Georgia Tech? And are you looking to maybe improve in some of those situations in terms of reacting to the atmosphere?
Well, this would be our first true road game, if I'm not mistaken. The other 3 games away from home have been in neutral sites. But again, it's the same mindset for me. It doesn't matter where this game played. The game is going to be played. It doesn't matter what the environment is or isn't. we got to focus on our play, our compete level, playing to the best of our ability on Wednesday night, and that's where my focus is, and that's all I'm concerned with.
We'll go back to Paul, second round.
Coach, obviously against New Orleans, we saw Amir get a lot of playing time and had a good game, and then he wasn't on the court as much this past game against SMU. What are you specifically looking from him from a consistency standpoint to where he can play more minutes and be more in the rotation?
We got about 4 guys, maybe 5, that are all in a similar boat where they all know, the expectation that we have for all of our players, but specifically for them, where they're at right now, and what specifically they need to bring to the table to ensure that they play more minutes. And it always starts with practice. That's your ticket into the game. And then reality of it is, whether it's right or wrong, I'm sure we're no different than a lot of other programs, but maybe not 4 or 5 guys, they got 1 or 2, where, hey, get in the game and make sure you do this, or make sure you do that, and stay away from this if you want to play more. And I've always said that, for me, if you're moving the needle in the right direction and the momentum for our play and our team is going the right direction, then you're going to get more minutes. And if it's not, then you're not. But Amir knows exactly what's going on, and he's an unbelievable kid, and I love coaching him. And I think he's going to have some great moments for us, and who knows what that'll look like, as the marathon of college basketball continues. But he didn't get off. He didn't play well in his minutes. He just didn't play well. He didn't do all the things that we're working on and that he knows he needs to do, and he'd be the first to tell you that.
Go second row middle with Danny P, and then we'll slide back down to Sam.
Which I'm thinking, guessing that Quincy may be another one of those guys, but he had a good game the other night, and with his points and the rebounds. Just how can he build on that moving forward so he can do that throughout the season?
Yeah, he's gotten, I think he's probably shown consistency in terms of his productivity being a little better, since when he first arrived till now. I thought he is one of the guys that has been more consistent and has produced a little bit more than he was, and certainly that's a great sign. And we've been coaching him hard, like all of our guys, but for us to be, the team that we want to be eventually, he's going to be a big part of that. And as you can see, he's got beautiful touch around the basket for as big and strong as he is. He's his agility maybe is a little bit more than what people expect him to be sometimes. Even me, once in a while, he made a move against SMU, going to his right. I'm like, wow. I mean, that was one of those plays, not like, oh my God, but it was like, wow, that was pretty good. And he's consistent with his work. He's consistent with his approach. He's getting better. He's learning what we expect him to do. And our guys are learning how to get him the ball in spots where he can be productive. He's not a guy you're going to throw the ball to, like a lot of guys play the back down game. That's really not his deal. We need to get that ball to him when he's got 2 feet in the paint, where he can turn over either shoulder, and get a basket. And then, he just started getting to the line, right? He hadn't been to the line much, and that's on both of us. We got to get in a position where he can get to the line, and not just for the free throw aspect of it, but just to get the foul game, in our favor a little bit more, as big as he is. But I'm happy that he's getting better and he's being more consistent, and he's got to continue in that direction.
Time for a few more, Sam, go ahead.
Do you just have any injury update on Serge?
He still hasn't hit the floor. He works with the trainer diligently. He's got another meeting today with the team doctor and the trainer, and just got questions and things that he's got to ask him, and blah 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 blah. So unfortunately, he's in the same boat he was last week.
Anything else? All right, see
Thanks.
somebody go on Tupelo.